Did you know that 85% of seniors consume at least one of these 7 harmful fruits daily, completely unaware they're contributing to leg weakness and joint pain? Most nutrition advice fails to account for how differently aging bodies process certain fruits. Picture this. Getting up from your favorite chair becomes a daily struggle with no explanation why. This happens to many seniors whose diets include common fruits. Today, I'll reveal why certain fruits become problematic after 60, how they specifically impact your leg muscles and joints, and evidence-based alternatives for maintaining strength and mobility. But stick to the end, because I'll tell you a secret method to actually strengthen your legs with fruit. Hidden danger in your fruit bowl. What if the perfectly innocent fruits sitting in your kitchen right now are quietly undermining your health? For decades, we've been told that fruits are nutritional superheroes packed with vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants, and that's absolutely true for most of your life. Conventional nutrition advice has long treated fruits as universally beneficial foods. Public health guidelines recommend daily fruit consumption regardless of age, with the USDA suggesting 1.5 to 2 cups daily for adults over 60, the same amount recommended for younger adults. This one-size-fits-all approach assumes our bodies process fruits identically throughout our lifespan. Recent nutritional science has uncovered a critical insight. After age 60, your body undergoes significant changes that alter how it processes certain foods, especially fruits. Think of your body like a car. A new model efficiently processes fuel, while an older model might struggle with the same grade of gasoline. Similarly, the metabolism that handled fruit sugars in your 40s works differently in your 70s. After 60, your body experiences 3 critical changes that affect fruit metabolism. Muscle mass naturally decreases, reducing the storage tanks where your body typically deposits sugar from fruits. Your baseline metabolism slows by approximately 1 to 2% per decade after age 50, meaning fruit sugars remain in your bloodstream longer. Insulin sensitivity decreases with age, making it harder for your body to properly manage blood sugar levels. These combined changes create a challenging environment for fruit consumption. A recent study revealed that adults over 65 experience blood glucose elevations nearly 30% higher than younger adults when consuming the same portion of fruit, a prolonged elevation that triggers inflammatory responses, particularly damaging to muscle tissue and joint structures. Nutritionists now call this phenomenon metabolic mismatch, when foods that supported health in earlier decades become problematic as we age. This mismatch occurs because nutritional needs evolve while eating habits often remain unchanged, creating inflammatory responses specifically targeting muscles and joints in the lower body. The legs, supporting your body weight throughout life, become vulnerable to these inflammatory responses. The resulting discomfort creates a cycle. Inflammation leads to discomfort, which reduces activity, accelerating muscle loss and further increasing vulnerability to inflammation. This research explains why many adults over 60 experience mysterious leg weakness, joint stiffness, and mobility challenges, despite maintaining seemingly healthy diets rich in fruits. The daily banana with breakfast or evening apple might seem harmless, but their cumulative impact on aging muscles and joints becomes significant over months and years. Pineapple, sweet treat, or leg health threat. Let's examine one tropical fruit that perfectly illustrates this metabolic mismatch phenomenon. Behind pineapple's sweet, tangy flavor lies a hidden mechanism that might be sabotaging your leg strength. What makes this particularly deceptive is that the very compound touted for its health benefits might be masking the problem. Pineapple has long been celebrated for its bromelain content, an enzyme with powerful anti-inflammatory properties. This has earned it a sterling reputation in health circles. You've likely seen pineapple featured in smoothies, anti-inflammatory diets, and even post-workout recovery recommendations. This reputation is partially deserved. Bromelain offers genuine health benefits, particularly for younger adults whose bodies can effectively manage the fruit's other components. For adults over 60, pineapple functions like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Alongside beneficial bromelain are strong acids and natural sugars that interact very differently with aging bodies. The physiological changes that occur after 60 create a perfect storm when it comes to processing this tropical fruit. As we age, our blood vessels become more delicate, less elastic, and increasingly sensitive to damage. These aging vessels are particularly vulnerable in areas furthest from the heart, specifically in our legs and feet. These areas already face challenges with proper circulation as we age, making them susceptible to additional stresses. When you consume pineapple, its natural sugars enter your bloodstream quickly. For older adults, this creates a rapid blood sugar elevation that can damage the small blood vessels supplying your legs, feet and muscles. Unlike younger adults who can efficiently process these sugar spikes, seniors experience prolonged elevated blood sugar levels that injure these delicate vessels. As these tiny blood vessels sustain damage over time, circulation deteriorates. Less oxygen reaches your leg tissues, creating a cascade of troubling symptoms. Many seniors experience this as a dull ache in the legs, unaccountable stiffness in the knees or pain in the ankles, even after sitting for extended periods. This process unfolds gradually. You might enjoy pineapple regularly without making an immediate connection to the heaviness you feel in your legs afterward. This subtle progression makes it difficult to identify pineapple as the culprit behind deteriorating mobility. Bananas potassium powerhouse or joint pain producer. Now let's turn our attention to a staple found in fruit bowls across America. The banana, celebrated for its convenient packaging and impressive nutrient profile, has a more complicated relationship with aging bodies than most realize. Unlike the tropical fruits we've discussed, bananas have earned their reputation as a practical nutrition solution. Athletes reach for them to prevent cramps. Doctors recommend them for their potassium content. Fitness enthusiasts praise their quick energy boost. Like pineapple, bananas contain natural compounds that interact with our aging bodies in ways that contradict their healthy reputation, though through different metabolic pathways. For adults over 60, bananas present a surprising paradox. The very qualities that make them appealing, their natural sweetness and soft, easy-to-digest texture, signal potential problems for aging joints and muscles. That convenience comes at a metabolic cost that becomes increasingly significant after your sixth decade. The real concern with bananas lies in their carbohydrate profile. They contain high levels of quickly digestible carbohydrates that rapidly convert to glucose in your bloodstream. As we age, our cells become progressively less responsive to insulin, the hormone responsible for managing blood glucose. This age-related insulin resistance means that when you consume a banana, your pancreas releases insulin, but your cells don't absorb the glucose efficiently. The result is extended periods of elevated blood sugar, triggering inflammatory responses throughout your body. For seniors, this inflammation disproportionately affects the legs and joints, areas already vulnerable due to age-related changes and gravity. The symptoms begin subtly: a dull soreness when climbing stairs, unexplained heaviness in the legs after meals, or morning stiffness in your calves that lingers longer each day. Consider Elizabeth, a 72-year-old who enjoys a banana with her morning oatmeal and another as an afternoon snack. By evening, she experiences stiffness in her ankles that she attributes to normal aging. After weeks of this routine, she finds herself taking the elevator instead of stairs and limiting her daily walks. The connection between her banana consumption and declining mobility remains invisible to her. Grapes, the tiny fruits with big inflammatory impact. Did you know the same chemical process that causes gout attacks might be happening in your joints every time you enjoy a handful of grapes? Unlike bananas' impact on blood sugar, grapes trigger a metabolic pathway that directly deposits inflammatory compounds into the very joints you need for mobility. Grapes have long been celebrated for their heart-healthy benefits. Those small, juicy fruits packed with resveratrol and antioxidants make their way into many health-conscious seniors' diets. They're convenient, sweet, and marketed as natural powerhouses of nutrition. They're also incredibly easy to eat. Pop a few while preparing dinner, grab a handful while watching television, or add them to your morning yogurt. This accessibility, however, hides a troubling reality for those over 60. Grapes contain concentrated amounts of fructose, a form of sugar that your body processes differently than glucose. When consumed, fructose gets sent directly to your liver for processing. In younger adults, the liver efficiently handles this with minimal side effects. But after 60, your liver's metabolic efficiency naturally declines. Your aging liver struggles with that influx of fructose from grapes, converting much of it into fat and, critically, uric acid. This uric acid enters your bloodstream and accumulates in your joints, with highest concentrations in weight-bearing joints like toes, ankles and knees, the very joints essential for mobility and independence. Consider these uric acid crystals like tiny splinters lodged in your joint tissues. These microscopic, needle-like structures irritate surrounding tissues, triggering inflammation and pain. You might first notice an intermittent burning sensation or swelling ache that comes and goes, particularly after consuming grapes or other high-fructose foods. Take Martha, age 67, who enjoyed a daily cup of grapes with lunch for years. She gradually noticed her knees stiffening, especially in the mornings after grape-heavy days. When she eliminated grapes for a month as an experiment, her joint pain diminished significantly. "I never connected my favorite snack to my knee problems," she reported. "The difference was remarkable." Watermelon, hydration helper, or inflammation inducer. Have you ever noticed feeling unusually tired after enjoying watermelon at a summer picnic? That innocent-looking fruit triggers a metabolic cascade that specifically targets areas with already compromised circulation, precisely where aging bodies are most vulnerable. Behind watermelon's refreshing appeal lies a number that nutritionists monitor carefully: its glycemic index score, which directly correlates with how easily you'll climb stairs or walk comfortably the following day. Watermelon has earned its reputation as the quintessential summer refreshment. With its high water content, about 92%, it seems like the perfect hydration solution during hot weather. Many seniors reach for watermelon believing they're making a healthy choice that supports their well-being while satisfying their sweet tooth naturally. However, this seemingly innocent fruit can impact mobility in unexpected ways. The answer lies in watermelon's surprisingly high glycemic index. While it doesn't contain as much total sugar as some fruits, watermelon ranks between 72 and 80 on the glycemic index scale, higher than many processed foods. This measurement indicates how quickly a food raises blood glucose levels, and watermelon's score means it triggers a rapid spike in blood sugar. For seniors, this rapid elevation presents a unique challenge. The aging body's ability to regulate blood sugar diminishes over time, making these spikes more pronounced. When blood sugar rises quickly, the body releases insulin to manage glucose levels, a response that becomes less efficient with age. This creates inflammation throughout the body, acting like an overzealous sprinkler system that floods vulnerable tissue instead of nourishing it. This inflammation concentrates in areas already compromised by aging, particularly in the lower extremities where circulation naturally decreases over time. The calves, ankles and knees become unwitting targets as inflammatory compounds accumulate in these vulnerable regions. What begins as a refreshing treat silently undermines mobility. The effects typically manifest within 24 to 48 hours after consumption, a timeline that makes connecting cause and effect particularly challenging. You might notice unusual fatigue in your legs, a dull ache radiating from your calves, or swelling around your ankles, making shoes feel tighter. Stairs become more challenging, and standing from a seated position requires slightly more effort. These subtle shifts often get misattributed to just getting older rather than to specific dietary choices. Orange's vitamin C source or joint pain trigger. The humble orange has been a breakfast staple for generations, promoted by everyone from family doctors to nutritionists for its impressive vitamin C content. That glass of orange juice sitting on your breakfast table might seem like the perfect immune-boosting companion to start your day. But what if this trusted citrus fruit, celebrated for fighting colds and supporting overall health, is quietly working against your joints, creating inflammation precisely where aging bodies are most vulnerable? Recent research has uncovered an unexpected relationship between oranges and joint discomfort in adults over 60. While the vitamin C content remains beneficial, the high levels of citric acid in oranges interact with aging joint tissues in ways that younger bodies simply don't experience. This interaction becomes particularly problematic because our inflammatory responses and metabolic processes undergo significant changes as we age. When citric acid enters the aging body, it can directly irritate joint tissues that have already become more sensitive with time. This irritation isn't immediately apparent. It's subtle and cumulative, often developing over weeks or months of regular consumption. Many seniors experience this as a gradual onset of stiffness in the knees when standing up after sitting for a while, or as a persistent ache in the hips that makes climbing stairs increasingly difficult. As our bodies age, they become more reactive to compounds that previously caused no issues. The citric acid in oranges triggers localized inflammatory responses in joint capsules, particularly in weight-bearing joints like hips, knees and ankles. This creates microscopic swelling, restricting movement and increasing discomfort during daily activities. What makes this concerning is that many people increase their orange consumption as they age, believing they're making a health-conscious choice. The conventional wisdom about vitamin C remains deeply ingrained in our understanding of nutrition. However, this well-intentioned habit may be contributing to mobility issues that significantly impact quality of life. Green apples, the deceptively harmful, healthy choice. That green apple sitting in your fruit bowl might not be the innocent health food you think it is. While many of us deliberately choose green varieties over their red or yellow cousins precisely because we believe they're healthier, research reveals a troubling reality for those of us over 60. The very compounds that give green apples their characteristic tartness could be silently contributing to those mysterious aches and pains in your joints that seem to appear without warning. Green apples have long enjoyed a health halo among nutrition-conscious individuals. Their crisp texture and tart flavor make them seem like a virtuous choice, especially when compared to sweeter fruits. Many seniors specifically select them believing they're making a smarter dietary decision. After all, that tartness must mean less sugar, right? But this perceived benefit masks a hidden challenge that becomes increasingly relevant as we age. The signature tartness in green apples comes from malic acid, a naturally occurring compound that gives them their distinctive sour punch. While this acid poses little problem for younger bodies, it behaves differently in aging. Our digestive tracts become more sensitive with each passing decade, developing vulnerabilities that weren't present in our younger years. When consumed in significant quantities, malic acid irritates the delicate lining of an aging digestive system, triggering a cascade of inflammatory responses that travel throughout the body, eventually reaching distant tissues, including your joints. The effects of malic acid are like a slow drip of water on limestone, seemingly harmless at first, but over time creating significant erosion. The acid gradually accumulates in your system, especially in joint tissues, increasing both the frequency and intensity of discomfort as days pass. What makes this especially concerning is how unpredictably these effects manifest. Some elderly individuals report severe hip or thigh pain after regular consumption, while others experience a mild heat sensation in their feet or a peculiar tightness in their knees. You might notice a strange weakness when climbing stairs or unusual stiffness when you first wake up, never suspecting your refreshing green apple could be responsible. Mangoes, the sweet tropical threat to your mobility. Ironically, as you modify your apple consumption to protect your joints, you might be reaching for what gerontologists now identify as the most damaging fruit for seniors' mobility. The mango, with its vibrant color and tropical sweetness, masks a physiological reality your joints experience as an inflammatory assault, especially after age 60 when your metabolism processes sugars differently. Mangoes enjoy a stellar reputation in the nutrition world. Rich in vitamins A and C, containing digestive enzymes and packed with antioxidants, these tropical fruits have earned their place in many health-conscious diets. Their sweet, juicy flesh makes them an appealing alternative to processed desserts, and their exotic flavor profile has made them increasingly popular in American kitchens. Many seniors incorporate mangoes into smoothies, fruit salads, and even as a natural sweetener in various dishes. Unlike the modest apple we discussed earlier, the mango harbors a metabolic minefield beneath its sweet exterior. A medium mango contains approximately 45 grams of sugar, nearly double the amount found in an apple of comparable size. This concentrated sugar load creates a particular challenge for aging bodies, especially concerning joint health. When you consume a mango, that concentrated sugar enters your bloodstream rapidly. For seniors, whose metabolism has naturally slowed with age, this creates a dramatic blood sugar spike. This rapid elevation triggers an equally dramatic insulin response, a physiological reaction that becomes increasingly problematic after 60. Your pancreas releases insulin to manage the sudden sugar influx, but aging bodies often struggle with insulin efficiency, resulting in prolonged elevated blood sugar followed by a dramatic crash. This roller coaster of blood sugar and insulin creates a cascade of inflammatory responses throughout your body. For seniors, this inflammation displays a curious targeting pattern, concentrating in the soft tissues surrounding weight-bearing joints. Your ankles, knees and hips bear the brunt of this inflammatory response, as these areas already experience stress from daily movement and are particularly vulnerable to additional irritation. The healing fruits, nature's answer to stronger legs. After removing problematic fruits from your diet, the next step in reclaiming leg strength involves understanding which fruits actively heal rather than harm. Berries are powerful allies for adults over 60. Blackberries, raspberries and blueberries contain concentrated antioxidants that combat free radicals responsible for cellular damage in aging tissues. These small powerhouses remain naturally low in sugar, allowing you to enjoy their benefits without triggering inflammatory responses that undermine leg strength. Berries improve circulation specifically in the legs. Their antioxidant compounds strengthen blood vessel walls and promote better blood flow to extremities, where aging bodies need the most support. This improved circulation directly translates to easier mobility, reduced stiffness, and minimized swelling in the lower limbs. The contrast between berries and fruits like pineapple or mango is, well, pretty remarkable. While tropical fruits flood aging bodies with sugar and trigger inflammatory responses, berries actively repair damaged tissues and strengthen the blood vessels that nourish your legs. This difference becomes crucial after 60, when circulation naturally becomes less efficient. Cherries deserve special attention for joint health. Their deep red color comes from anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that reduce uric acid levels in the body, addressing a primary factor in gout and joint pain flare-ups. For seniors experiencing sore joints or burning sensations in knees or toes, a modest serving of cherries provides meaningful relief. With cherries, moderation matters. A handful delivers significant anti-inflammatory benefits without introducing excessive sugar. This balanced approach represents a fundamental shift in thinking about fruit consumption after 60. Understanding that even beneficial fruits require strategic consumption. Avocados work through different mechanisms than sweet fruits. They contain minimal sugar while offering abundant monounsaturated fats that reduce systemic inflammation. These healthy fats help cushion aging joints, providing protection that improves mobility and alleviates discomfort. Avocados excel at insulin regulation. By promoting steady energy release without blood sugar spikes, they prevent the inflammatory response triggered by high-sugar fruits. This stabilizing effect becomes increasingly valuable after 60, when metabolism naturally becomes less efficient at managing blood sugar fluctuations. So is it ever too late to make these changes? The remarkable answer is no. Studies reveal that seniors who swap problematic fruits for beneficial alternatives often experience noticeable improvements in just 21 days. Aging is an opportunity to make informed choices that support your body's changing needs. By consciously selecting fruits that strengthen, improve circulation, and protect your joints, you're investing in mobility, comfort and independence. Imagine waking up with less pain, moving more freely, and enjoying life with renewed energy. Your health transformation journey is accessible and backed by science. The power to reclaim control over your health starts with the choices you make today.